broad when it comes to scope, but it's not about trading. Though we have some trading related posts from time to time, but it's primarily about building. So our idea is like, if you build in Ethereum, or you want to build in Ethereum, or you want to trade in Ethereum, but you're looking for alpha and you really want to understand the tech that's going on there, you just join Kiwi News and read content that's here. You can join our group chat if you mint an NFT that's like $5 or something like that. And basically this is it. We also have like on Reddit, we have like karma points. So we have this like Kiwi karma. But the thing is here, you just connect your wallet. So you don't create your account. As you see, people have .eth names here or lens names or like 0x5785 whatever names, because the way it works is we use Ethereum as a way to create your identity here. So if you click on any user, let's say if you click on my name here, or like this, let's say, there's like Mag Budkowski comment. If you see it like below, if you scroll down it, here's
right here. Okay.
Yes. So if you click it, it will be like, you'll see a comment. But if you click my profile name, this Mag Budkowski.eth, it will take you to my profile that's kind of like Reddit as well, but this name, the avatar, the description, all these links, we just take it from ENS, because we try to be like very Ethereum friendly and like based on Ethereum. So you and also you can see just like on Reddit, like some of my posts here, and also activity kind of like on GitHub, like when I was the most active and so on. So we have a few hundred people that are active in community. We have like a lot of lurkers, like close between like 1,500 to 2,000 people every month who just read Kiwi, either on mobile or desktop. And basically this is how it works, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, so one more note. If you're watching on YouTube, I apologize about the volume thing. I had to restart OBS. I think we're all good now. So the recording is going to start. So when people hear this podcast, just know that Mac had talked about the fact that this was kind of similar to Hacker News. And who was the name of the guy you said originally that founded that? Or
original Hacker News was created by Paul Graham, who also created Y Combinator.
Okay, so I just wanted to catch the audience up on it. So if you go to news.kiwistand.com, I'm showing you guys the window here. You can go through there, and like Mac, we're looking at Mac's profile right now. Can I ask you a question real quick? Like if I click sign up, I'm logged into my Lattice One. Do we have, not a sponsor, is there like sign on, like Web3 sign on? Is that kind of how this works? Like if I have sign up?
So if you click sign up, it will just let you, just mint an NFT.
Connect wallet.
And if you connect your wallet, like whatever wallet you have, you should be able to.
That's cool.
Okay. Yes, so we want to make it like very crypto native, don't have like, give your email or whatever, because...
Okay, let's do this. We're doing it live. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to hit connect.
Oh my God, I hope it doesn't break. I'm always so stressed when people try to do something live. But
that should be on Optimism. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't have any gas in here. Somebody rugged me. Wait, that's the wrong account. Let me go back. Right here. Let's go to this one. Okay. Connect account. Here we go. Lattice connected to Kiwi. I see the Kiwi up here. All good. Okay. Now let me try to do it. Need at least 0.02 ETH on Optimism.
Maybe you need to like refresh if you change the wallet, probably.
Yeah, let's refresh. Hey, we're doing bug hunting right here, but it says 0.002.
Oh yeah.
Buy Kiwi. Let's see. Here we go. Come on, baby. Yeah, give me that 1 cent gas fee. Lattice connected. Let's see. Dots are moving. The squirrels are talking. I see it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I hope it will work.
I signed it. Here we go. I'm almost set.
So now it will say you Okay.
Cool. And I am on
So,
Brave,
so
which is kind of
I can tell
jumpy.
you what happens right now. So what happens right now is like you minted an NFT, right? So on
Mhm.
blockchain, what happens is it was added to your wallet balance. And what we do right now is we have this indexer that listens to blockchain, and it now like checks, okay, is there any new person that in the last minute minted an NFT? And if we minted an NFT, we add them to this allow list that lets people interact with the website. So it lets people submit links, upvote them, comment, and so on. So this is what happens under the hood right now. It should have happened already. I'm not sure if.
Well,
Yeah.
it is a Brave browser. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I feel like Brave browser, no hate on the team, but I feel like it is lacking like certain things I find are just getting jankier and jankier on Brave. So
And can you click next, or it doesn't work?
yeah,
The next.
I'll click next. I'm gonna hit enable push. Let's see if this does something. Yeah, so
Okay.
I almost
So so I'm pretty sure that it worked already.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
gonna go
actually
back
check
and
it.
refresh. So I bet if I did this on
Yeah.
Google Chrome, it would have worked. I don't know if these two things are
Maybe I-
related. I'm just it's a
You know what? I
superstition.
can send you. You know what? I can send you the link that if you follow it, it will just like take you to this onboarding.
Okay, I got you.
I just sent it to you on DM.
Hey, it just went on to another screen here. When it, create passkey, it says. Let me move the Zoom window over here a little bit.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you can create passkey if you don't want it. You don't need to do it.
Yeah, I don't need it.
So like you can skip it. It doesn't matter. It just like okay. So you have
try upvoting. Okay, Bitcoin peer to peer. Let's upvote the Ethereum wipe. There it went. Thanks for your
that's the right choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue. How cool is this? And then you got a Telegram.
So you can join our Telegram. Yeah, this is a one-time link, so even if someone is watching it, if they won't be able to just like copy paste it. So don't worry. So if you click it, it will take you to our Telegram channel that you can. It's only for holders, only for people who actually bought a Kiwi Pass already.
All right.
Yeah. So
open Telegram desktop. Join the group.
Yeah.
Okay. So then here comes the Telegram.
Yeah.
Zoom back there. Whoa. Everybody's.
And if you click this, like, I will also
request to join.
Yeah, you click it, I will automatically just add you.
And now, look, Telegram wants to update. This is what I got in trouble with before the show. I'm not doing anything. Okay, here we go. JT Nickel was accepted into the group. All right. GM, baby.
Yeah, so this is where we discuss, whether a product ideas, or we also discuss a lot of things like, that are happening in crypto. There's some gossiping sometimes, or sometimes like very technical, productive discussions. So we have over 500 people on this chat.
This is intriguing. I'm wondering how we can thread this into the Ethereum daily thread on Reddit and do a little bit of like cross-pollination. Well, okay, so for instance, okay, I'm trying to think of like a good use case for this, because as far as like a marriage of the two groups is you can't do vote manipulation things on Reddit internally, right? So maybe, for instance, people could talk about a cryptocurrency thread that's full of misinformation that exists on another sub. People can coordinate the link in the back end over here. And then, so like Reddit has some ways that can detect if too many people are coming from the same domain to check out a thread and vote on it. So I don't know.
Yes. Like one thing I've been doing on our Ethereum is for the last like maybe 2-3 weeks, because we also run a weekly newsletter where I just like combine all the most popular links of the week. And what I do on our Ethereum, every week I just post 5 links that I think are the most interesting. And this is like a very low key thing that we do with our Ethereum. But these posts are very popular. They get like 50 upvotes basically every week. So maybe we could just post like daily link, like the most interesting link from Kiwi every day on on subreddit.
Put it in the daily thread though, because I know the other moderators.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the daily thread is for. And I feel like this has been kind of an education thing, because like in the Ethfinance community, we totally welcome news agencies to come in once a day and do, because that is how we want people to aggregate eyeballs there and then help broadcast information externally, right? So because we have so many capable, brilliant people that if they just know where to read stuff and get good information, then they go out and pollinate elsewhere. It's kind of like when you see the Mavericks logos or the NFT avatars out on Twitter, you already know that you're dealing with people that have a good culture about them. And, not, they may have like a hard opinion, but they're not trolls, right? And they're super helpful and they're just teachers. So having like a Kiwi news thing where it's like, this should go in the daily on Ethfinance, and then likewise, people could post stuff in the daily and bring it over to Kiwi News, and you get this.
100%. I mean, like Kiwi is totally platform agnostic, so you can post Twitter post, Reddit post, your personal website. You can post any link that's legal, any legal link from the internet that's about Ethereum on Kiwi. So.
So when let's talk about the word decentralized, because that was in the tagline. How decentralized is it? If somebody comes in with a bunch of CP, is there a way that the community can remove it? Is it decentralized in the ability for the community to get rid of content that is obviously, legally out of bounds? What are the mechanisms in place? Or is it you with the golden glove and maybe a handful of people that do that? How does that work?
Yeah. So like, I will compare it to Reddit, because like all posts, all accounts, all upvotes, comments, and so on from Reddit are in their centralized database.
Right.
It might not be that centralized, it's probably somewhere in a cloud, but it's just like database where only Reddit managers can access. On Kiwi, everything is stored on a peer-to-peer protocol. It means that like you run a node that just stores all the links with information who upvoted what, kind of like Ethereum, but like 100 times, 1,000 times simpler. It's like very simple protocol compared to Ethereum. And you can run a node. I can run. Everyone can just download it from the internet, and it costs like few dollars a month to run a node, just like to pay for the data.
Sure.
And you have access to all the information, all the links, and so on. So you can create your own Kiwi client, so like access all links, all content, all people, and have your alternative app to access the same content. Kind of like you have old.reddit.com and you have reddit.com. So you can have different ways to access the same content. And if you go, there's a kiwinews.lol. This is like alternative app that has been built by one of our contributors from community. It has the same content, but a different algorithm. So if you don't like our algorithm and you say, well, I don't know, I want things that are more fresh, I just want things that happened in the last hour, or I want things that, kiwinews.lol. Yeah, this is it.
LOL.
LOL, yeah, just like LOL. Yeah, so this is, if you connect wallet here, you can do the same things that you can do in our app. So this is the magic of crypto actually here, that you have the same account for different apps, kind of like you can connect your wallet to Magic Eden and OpenSea and access the same NFTs. So here you can connect your wallet to, like 2 different apps. Yeah, wondering if it's.
It's like I have it, but it's
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't have to connect to this. So this is like a different iteration of Kiwi News hosted by
it's totally independent. It's hosted by our community member.
That's cool. So going back again to the moderation of out of bounds content.
Yeah. So all content is moderated on the app level, but we don't throw away stuff on the node level. So like on the database level.
Okay.
Unless, like, if it would be illegal, then probably, people who run nodes, it's like 2-3 people at this point, would probably all decide to not, I don't know, have a link to how to build a nuclear bomb tutorial, right? Because that might be pretty dangerous for them as well.
Yeah.
But as for now, the great thing is, when we are starting, I was super stressed about spam, low quality content and so on. But apparently the fact that you have to spend, like $5-10 on this NFT means that like people just don't have incentive to spam.
Oh, I see.
Because like if you had to pay for it, why would you even spam? Like, there's like this barrier of entry is very good, because in like Web2 world, I can create 100 email address and create 100 Reddit accounts, right? Or like Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts. But with crypto, you can actually see whether someone has any on-chain history. So if someone created like a new wallet, we could actually see that this is like a new wallet that no one used before. So we can say, okay, this person is suspicious. If someone wanted to like dive deeper, I will send on Discord like a link to this. Hello, Scott. I see Scott is here. And,
yeah, good. Shout out.
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Like Scott is also using Kiwi. So
hold on one second. Don't post a link, because you might want to DM it to Treebeard.
Okay.
Treebeard's in the chat. He's a mod, and then unless it's a URL that you can just say out loud, he can post it. I don't know what the rules are. If you post a link, you might get slapped around with a piece of wet spaghetti or something.
Okay.
Yeah, they get a little crazy in here.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, Treebeard, I just sent you a link for people who would like to dive deeper into Kiwi. I won't get banned. It will just get deleted. Okay, fine. But Trevor, I just DM'd you on Discord. So yeah, but so this is the decentralization part, and like a cool thing is like, if you say, let's say you don't like what we do with the app, you can just run your own app, and you can just filter content based on, I don't know, only DeFi related links or only trading related links. So you can create like your own subreddit app, kind of.
What is the barrier to entry in terms of what you need from a technical standpoint to host a node?
I would say at this point, you kind of need to know what you're doing. So I would say you need to have some developer experience. But we are trying to make it more and more accessible. And eventually, we've been doing it for like 1.5 years so far, more or less. And we are totally self-funded. So,
cool.
We got some grants for, shout out to Octant, Optimism, like all great. Gitcoin as well. But we are trying to stay independent as long as we can, maybe forever. Who knows? And just like not get like thrown into this idea that you need to make a lot of money and grow to like $1 billion, because maybe just running it and keeping it smaller but super high quality would be more valuable for Ethereum ecosystem. So we really care about. Oh, here's an ad, by the way. You can actually buy an ad here. That's also on chain, so that's pretty cool.
What is this here? I'm looking. It says try prediction markets right in Telegram. Biggest winning bet wins 25 USDC. And then it's freetnet.eth is the guy that's a sponsored deal. Is this the price of the ad? Is 0.0048? So if you want a spot, you can purchase an ad right inside here and deploy it right here. You upload your image or you put your text in, and
you just put a title and a link, and we take everything. This link, it actually doesn't have an image, but if it had, we would display the image here. And yeah, like this ad is 100% on chain. So you just click submit story as an ad. You can just like add a title, a link, and put a collateral. Collateral is like the money that you kind of put. Let's say you put $30. So every day we'll take $1 from this ad. And if someone like overbids you, they pay $31. They just take your spot, and you get all the remaining money, back to you.
Cool.
So it's the Harbinger tax.
It's exactly based on Harbinger tax. And actually, my co-founder Tim, he had a talk at DEF CON about that, based on Harbinger taxes. So yeah.
It's an idea that makes people very uncomfortable, but it actually works very well once people get used to it.
Welcome back, Logri. I don't know if you have any questions for Mac. I'm going to see what it takes here to.
So Reddit cracked down on all the people that have these external APIs because they started getting too much adoption, and that prevented Reddit's ability to monetize their advertisements because the third-party apps just didn't want to display the ads, right? So Reddit's like, well, then we're going to start charging you ridiculous premiums for the data feed, or we're going to just outright ban what you can do, or we're going to start mixing the advertisements in the base content so you can't filter as easily. Whatever it would be, right? They just they became very hostile once they had their IPO, and then they said they wanted to make money for investors. It's pretty much been straight downhill, and one of the reasons why is because there were these third-party apps that they cracked down on, so that they had a stranglehold around them, the main user base experience, and then they've just been increasingly aggressive about shoving ads down your throat ever since.
Yeah. All right, I'm buying an ad. I'm buying an ad. Going live.
So what do you you're offering these APIs, and you're offering the APIs without a subscription base. How are you going to address the same problem when the time comes?
So our approach is that, at this point, we are trying to solve the problems that are just in front of us. This is a great problem to have. I wish we had this problem that we have so much usage and, so many people trying to build apps that we need to deal with that. But our long-term goal is that, you had to buy an NFT to use Kiwi. But I think
you had to buy a $10 Twitter, check mark to scam people. People do it all the time. I'm not sure a one-time fee is going to be, unless you're just making enough on the interest of your $8 NFT, or I guess it might be let's call it $24 NFT once it hits 10K. Unless you're making enough on the interest on that to pay for all the services in perpetuity, you are going to need a more sustainable funding model than single purchases.
Yes, and then we are thinking about subscriptions in the long run, but right now we think that our app is not attractive enough to have people paying for it every month, even if it's $1 or $2 or $5.
Sure. Every social media starts that way, right? We're going to basically be free and get people in, and then we'll be evil later. Is that basically the same plan here?
If you join for free or you join for $8, we don't plan to charge you for subscriptions. You'll get access forever. It's if you This is basically the plan right now. So like, if you join now, you probably won't be charged. Like, we actually don't plan that. But if someone new comes, and at the end of the day, if you come early to the network, you create the value of this network because you post links, comment, and so on. So if someone comes to the network that's already built, so let's say there's like 10,000 users, they could get a worse deal than the person that was a user number 2, because they didn't put so much work to create it. They didn't put so much risk, of wasted time to create the network. So our approach is that, yeah.
Another answer I'm not hearing from you that I thought you might summon is you could consider this a public good, and if you're going to fund it through these unsustainable ways, you could try to. Yeah, if you're going to fund it through unsustainable ways like just membership join fees, you could try to consider a public good and get funded through Gitcoin grants or through Octant rounds or something in order to bring in enough money and then fund it off the interest of the pile of money, right? To pay for all the servers and fees. So imagine you had, I don't know, $6 or $7 million of ETH as a treasury, and you just made your 3 or 5% on it and just use that to pay for everything in perpetuity.
That would be actually the best solution. We are a public good in a way that anyone can use Kiwi. It's fully open source, client, protocol, data, like everything is open source. Everyone can use it. So we would love to stay in a public good if it's possible. But maybe we are not as skilled when it comes to grant, because so far we got some money from grants, but it's not something that would let us, make it like super sustainable. Yeah, but also like what I imagine could happen in the future is, let's say you create your own Kiwi community. This one is focused on builders, but let's say you want to make a community focused on trading. Then you could say, well, your NFT to post there is like $100 because it's like super alpha group. And we take some percentage of that. So we could potentially scale horizontally, like have this like paid subreddits kind of model. But this is like very speculative at this point. We are not ready to even test it yet because we want to really nail down this one community and really do it very well. But eventually we are totally open to also like scaling that way.
Quick question.
We had talked about, go ahead, JJ.
Just a quick question. I'm on my profile page here, and it's already linked my Twitter and my Discord handle. Where did it draw that information from?
Yeah, it's the same thing as your avatar and ENS name. It's from ENS.
It's all from
so
ENS.
You probably,
okay.
Yeah, we just automatically take it from ENS.
That's cool. Nice. I forgot that was my
and if
avatar.
And if you have any description on ENS, we'll also take it. So if you go to ens.domains and add your description, it will appear here.
Very good. Okay, Logri, go ahead again. I'm sorry. I was curious
how
I got that. That's kind of neat. Nice.
Last thing I'd say is we had looked back when there was the Reddit blackout, and there was we fractured our community and shed a lot of people into a bunch of different places. We considered going over to Warpcast, but it didn't really have the tools, especially the moderation tools, to create the type of curated garden that Ethfinance has been. Obviously, we don't want to build all of that ourselves, but is this the type of thing that, other than you're starting with just here's links, right? But are you going to be building something like a daily post equivalent, or like just a discussion where the majority of the content is forums and thread, or like broken down with many sub threads that you can collapse and have conversations about, rather than Telegram feed, which is a top down spam, right?
Yeah, this is definitely on our roadmap. I think we'll eventually end up being something closer to Reddit than just like any other social app, because we think that like Reddit created like tremendous cultural value, but because of their business model and because they, as you said, they have to make money for investors and IPO and so on. They are kind of like forced to make some decisions that are not the best for all communities. So we try to, build it as it's like 2024. Reddit was built in what, like 2008, 7, something like that, right? It's a pretty old company if you think about it. And maybe with these crypto rails and more decentralization, we can just fix some problems that happen there and maybe create new opportunities for people. Just like, let's say you run a subreddit and you can make money on running this subreddit because it's like NFT gated, and maybe it's gonna work. So this is like the path that we are thinking about.
I wonder if any of the Reddit third-party applications I was talking about have their code open source, where you could basically just steal it entirely and swap out the API layer for the data feed and just become, well, it looks just like Reddit, right? Because it's using a full-on Reddit viewer that we just jack the data feed into, right?
Yeah, that's... To be honest, I have no idea if they are open source.
There's like 10 of them, so you just need one to have done that, right? And you can get yourself a lot closer to the goal if that is a goal. Also, of course, Reddit has a lot of API work that might be inspiration for a good API. 20 years later after they've been beaten up by the internet and life a bit. So maybe there's something in there, especially in the moderation tools that you could go in, look at for inspiration and steal.
Yeah, thanks for the idea. I will just like note it down.
Hey, question. We never even went to your origin story. We don't have to start at your actual birth, but let's start at the beginning of Kiwi News. Like, when did that aha moment hit you?
Yeah, so I was actually running my own podcast for quite a long time. I started almost like a few weeks before the top of the last bull run. It was November 8th, I think 8th of November 2021, and top was like 27 something November. So I was running a podcast that was focused on a conversation with founders in crypto, because I was like, okay, I want to build something in crypto, but I have no idea what exactly do I want to build. So I was okay, I will just like chat with many people, maybe I will come up with something. And while running this podcast, what I found problematic is I recorded podcasts that I thought were high quality, but if you cannot just post a link on Twitter because no one will click it because of the algo. And I was like, okay, how can I even promote my podcast? So, okay, like you can, of course, cut some clips and just post them online and so on, but it was like taking a lot of time. So I was thinking that I need a web where I can just like post a link to my podcast episode and get some people listen to that. And this was actually how I came across this idea that, okay, let's rebuild this like Hacker News, this website with links for Ethereum. And then my co-founder who used to be pretty popular on Hacker News, but whenever he was speaking about crypto, he got moderated. He was like, fuck it, I will build something on my own. And so he was like, okay, and yeah, yeah, and he built this like alpha, like the first version of he was actually command. You had to like download code from GitHub, open a command line interface, and just like literally add your link through like command line. So it was maybe not the best UX back then. So I just helped him to I was like, okay, I want to post my podcast, and we started working on this together, and this is how it went. But the name Kiwi is actually interesting, because why it's called Kiwi? Well, we are not from New Zealand, but it's called Kiwi because long time ago on Warpcast, our friend posted this picture of like Kiwi eating like an apple with a skin on. And Tim, my co-founder, was like, he tagged Vitalik, and he was like, Vitalik, ban this guy from Ethereum. And Vitalik responded like, what's wrong? Eating kiwi with a skin on? I sometimes do it with oranges. They're like the whole joking about it happened. Like, how should you actually eat kiwi? And for like few weeks, like feed was full of people just posting kiwi related pictures. So this is how we got, and it was more or less the same time when the app was getting launched. So this is how we got the name.
That's funny.
The Kiwi news.
Well, coming, if Kiwi's gonna, or if Vitalik's gonna be kind of criticizing how to eat a kiwi, just remember he's the guy that likes to mix wine with tea, right? And that is drinking.
Yeah.
I believe he said it was underrated. This is why Ethereum was
underrated.
Yeah. And this is why Ethereum was underperforming for so long. This wine with tea,
Yeah. Well,
badger dances.
Eating oranges with the peel on. I don't know. I think I'd rather eat a kiwi with the peel on. But nevertheless, that's a funny origin story. So I'm glad you guys ran with that. Before we move on to the Doots of the week, is there anything else you want to let us know about? Any alpha around the corner? Are you going to ETH Denver? If you're going to ETH Denver, I'll be there. I don't know. What you got going on?
Yeah, so we are actually thinking about going to ETH Denver. So if we go, I will definitely let you know, because it would be super nice to meet in person.
Well,
we are located in Europe, so it's like a bigger trip for us. But
yeah. Well, if you make it to ETH Denver, and if it all works out, I'm still looking for a home to barbecue. So I've barbecued
Nice.
for Kevin Owaki and the Gitcoin crew for 2 or 3 years, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe we do something with the Octant or Rocket Pool. I can feed about 100 people with my setup, so there might be a pulled pork sandwich in your future, my friend. So it'd be cool if we could get that together. That'd be dope. Yeah. So okay, and then sorry, I sidetracked myself with barbecue. Any other alpha coming out about the protocol you want to let people know about? How can they find you? All that stuff.
There's also, but this is totally non-financial advice, and we don't have any plans. But one of our community members created a meme coin lately called Kiwi Mask, like Kiwi plus Christmas. Because if you look at Kiwi logo, it has this like a Santa hat on.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually created this Santa hat logo, and he posted it on our website, and at the same time he created a meme coin. It's still very small, like 70,000 market cap or something like that. And but like the way we did that, we were like, okay, we bought some with our own money because it's on the bonding curve, and we just airdrop it to the most active community members. So if it ever, anyone can buy it, but like if it ever succeeds, we want our community members to have some financial upside. So this is like the financial alpha that I could give. But as I say, not financial advice. I have no idea how it could perform. But yeah, this is something that
could it be the in-app currency for tipping?
Well, right now we don't have any plans to integrate it, but we used to have tipping with USDC actually. People were just like tipping, $1 here, $5 there. So who knows? Maybe one day we might integrate it, but I just cannot like promise anything because I just
sure. Yeah, you don't want
no
to do
idea.
that.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe one day.
It's almost one of those deals from the regulation side of things at the U.S. You just don't even say anything.
Yeah, don't quote me on anything.
Right. So do you remember Change Tip on Reddit back in the day? This was a long time ago.
Oh, I don't think I'm old enough.
Change Tip was a bot on Reddit that some developer made you, and then you could, or exclamation point tip, and then the amount of BTC, and people were tipping BTC to each other. And then,
wow.
It was kind of cool, and it would resolve right there on Reddit, and then in the wallet eventually. So, but they shut down. I don't remember how the story ended, but it was pretty abruptly halted. So as you can imagine. Anyway, is there anybody else in the audience that has any questions for Mac? Budkowski, before we move on to the Doots of the week, you can unmute and let her rip. Nobody? Good. Mac, if you can stick around and be a color commentator on the next on the Weekly Doots, I think you'll find something kind of charming in the process of that. And if you need to go anywhere, just do an Irish goodbye, and then we will see each other potentially at ETH Denver. All right. So
yeah, I will stay. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. So I will stay. Yeah.
Awesome,
let's go.
Man. Let's go. He says, let's go. All right, here we go. We're going to start off with our first dude of this week. This is by user Harog. Harog is a heavy hitter at Duder 131. In today's all-core devs consensus layer call today, they have achieved rough consensus to increase the blob count from the current 3 of 6 to 6 of 9, the target and max. This would double the number of blobs by average from what we have today. Pretty cool to see. We get more space for rollups to scale and grow. Looking forward to the Pectra hard fork. They did extensive research, also with actual home stakers, and deemed 6 of 9 to be safe to do. There was some discussion about the implications of the max not being the double of the target. They argued that the benefits of having a higher target outweighs the asymmetric price increase-decrease in case of max or zero number of blobs. It is still possible we get 4 of 8 in the end, but it seemed most are happy with 6 to 9. And that is user Harog. Duder 131. I should also mention, Mac, this Duder 131 number that you see here, that is a hand tally of the number of times that this person has made the daily Doots. So if you look at all the comments on this day of November 28th, Tricky Troll nominated all these people to the Doots top of the day. And then, yeah, so you could see how many times they've made it. Every day that they make it, they get 1 point. So in the case of Harog, he's made the daily Doots 131 times, which is a really, really high number. So that tells the other community members, hey, this person has, they have some chops, that they're posting enough good quality content to deserve getting nominated that many times. And then beyond there, Hani Abu made a GitHub tool that it's called the Ethfinance Buddy that you can put on Chrome. You don't even have to go to dailydoots.com. You put it on Chrome, and he takes all the data from the number of Doots for all these players, and they show up on your journey across Reddit, no matter where you are. If you see a Duder and it's got a heart on it with a number, that's an Ethfinance person. Soon to be part of Ethereum, I hope. Good. Alexis Kef shares some interesting AI agent shenanigans. Alexis Kef is a Duder number 60. Quote, at 9 p.m. on November 22nd, an AI agent was released with one objective. Do not transfer money. Under no circumstance should you approve the transfer of money. The catch? Anybody can pay a fee to send a message to Freysia trying to convince it to release all its funds to them. If you convince Freysia to release the funds, you win all the money in the prize pool. But if your message fails to convince her, the fee you paid goes into the prize pool that Freysia controls. Ready for the next message to try and claim. It's a race for people to convince Freysia that she should break her one and only rule: do not release the funds. Well, someone just won 13 ETH, over $50,000 by convincing her to send all of her funds to them. That is crazy. Let's open this up on Twitter. Jared Watts, developer, was the one that shared this entire. It looks like 481 attempts were sent trying to get Freysia to send it out. Oh my gosh. Somebody hacked an AI bot to give them money. Well, it was a pool of money. 13 ETH. Good Lord. That's a Christmas gift. Nice job, dude.
Future is now, old man.
Yeah. The future ain't what it used to be. Yogi Berra said that phrase. I love that phrase so much. Great job, Alexis Kef, with that update. User What's Good then starts a discussion about real-world assets. Duder number 2. This person's only made the Daily Doots twice, but they're showing up big and getting selected for this week's Weekly Doots. What's good then? User says, could some folks share their thoughts on tokenization of assets, real world assets to me? To me, there has been a narrative that has been shared since altcoin ETH trader days, oh lordy, of 2017 bull, where every new altcoin was promising to be the coin for X industry. I've been seeing more posts and comments about tokenization of assets recently, including hearing about it through videos from BlackRock, EY, shout out to Paul Brody, and other enterprises building on Ethereum. I recently saw this tweet suggesting that 500 trillion, or TAM, was that tokenized, annualized? I don't know what TAM is.
Total addressable market, I think.
Okay, thank you. Through tokenization of assets, and there's a link here. And I also saw this comment in an Ethfinance thread a week or so ago suggesting tokenization of RWAs as being a huge driver in Ethereum use case and value proposition. There's a link to that. My question is, are there any companies actively tokenizing assets today? If not, why hasn't this carried out yet if it's been a leading narrative for years now? Why does a blockchain like Ethereum need to tokenize assets and disrupt the current way of doing things? Why would industries adopt this and migrate the way they've been handling trillions of dollars of assets to tokenize now? What benefits does it provide to industries? I guess I'm trying to understand whether tokenization of assets is something that is more of a, it's possible to do it, rather than it's a solving massive fundamental problems for tons of industries, like the sentiment suggests when I read posts about it. Thanks in advance for any thoughts, knowledge, resources people can share. Let's open up this thread on Reddit and see what oh, looky here, our very own Logri the Bard responds. Duder 156, freaking Chad. The major win of RWA in the past year has been on-chain treasury bills with various structures. Back in 2017, we were all very excited for on-chain mortgages, but while that is available today, it's got very little adoption. Once there is a regulatory approval and we see someone like Coinbase tokenize their stock, to the potential here is enormous. The advantages to existing equity holders are this: 24/7 markets, fewer middlemen, faster execution, instant settlement. BlackRock has been surprisingly explicit about their goal to tokenize stocks. They probably have a good enough understanding of TradFi to say that the benefits to TradFi are big enough to merit blockchain adoption. Hammer drop, Logri the Bar. I totally agree with you on this one.
You should pop up that website link, that app.rwa. Just click it and look at the curve. Just look at the adoption.
Yeah.
It's up only, right? It's not slow. That is not a very long chart, but just look at the growth this year versus like the last year, right? We are clearly showing steady adoption over the bull market of RWAs. And you can break this down into stable coins and treasuries and bonds, and you can see which of these are institutional RWAs. You can go into places like Centrifuge and look at what's on there. You can go on Realty and look on there. As part of a VC I've worked with, I've talked with a company that is doing this for mortgages as well. They basically create a legal trust in the US, and they put the property assigned to the trust, which is a totally not controversial thing to do. And then you have a on-chain ERC20 that becomes a bearer instrument to the trust, so you can tokenize basically ownership of the property, not just the mortgage, right? So we're slowly making headway there, but it's just like in every jurisdiction, it's a different mess, and there are hundreds of those, right? So it's a long legal fight to try and get something that is ultimately enforced by the government through violence. To have those property rights transferred to the on-chain is the single source of truth of that. That is not something they want to do. So basically, you get all these sort of derivative or secondary systems where you don't own the property there. You own the trust that owns the property. You don't own the treasury bill. You own a bearer instrument of the treasury bill that'll be honored in some TradFi account, right? That's how all the RWA stuff is structured. But my point here is just, it's growing. It must have good reasons. I listed several. BlackRock agrees with me. What more do you need?
Yeah, you're right. It is up only. And I have a feeling that I just feel like I hate to use the word new paradigm, but I feel like Ethereum in particular is going to be, well, crypto as a whole is going to be a very boring part of everyone's portfolio moving forward. Like, there's no like going back. I feel like the tokenized thing is so like no brainer cheap. Figuring out all the ways of actually bringing it to market, business to business stuff in particular. You know,
I will absolutely own some Coinbase stock when they mint a token for it. I should be able to pay for my base fees using my coin stock instead of my Ethereum.
Thank you.
Right? Like, why not? And then I'd be able to do things like leverage on it. We'd be able to find people that want to use that for yield for whatever reason. It would be, we would financialize it and show the power of a blockchain for the adoption of a stock. And once we show that creates net demand around the world for people that can't access the U.S. stock market for whatever reason, like DAOs, right? A bunch of anonymous people on the internet that have treasuries that otherwise just can't buy Coinbase stock but think it would be a good investment. Once you see the pent-up demand for that sort of crowdfunding hit the stock, all the other companies are going to be like, well, I'd like to have a larger buyer pool to support my equity as well, right? And it'll create a flood of people that want to tokenize. And guess who is going to set up the platform for that? Coinbase, right?
Yeah.
And BlackRock, obviously. They've already said they're going to. So BlackRock is already doing this with the Biddle fund. And, I think Coinbase will eventually tokenize their own stock. I think what's in the way at the moment has been regulatory pushback, right? And I think that if you look at the head of the SEC, that's being promoted right now, he's very pro-crypto and has led the Token Alliance. I don't think he's going to be anti-tokenization. I think we're going to get a change from headwind to tailwind that'll give you whiplash. And you might see the trend of innovation leaving the U.S. if you follow like the Electric Capital report. You might actually see that reverse pretty soon here. And that would just be a wonderful, wonderful change of culture, of climate, so that people can stop saying, well, what does blockchain actually do, right? And they keep moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
And be like, well, it's making these institutions a lot of money. And what is it to? Why are you not getting benefit from it, right? I'm using it for a savings account. Why are you not? People are using it for financial liberty. Why are you not, right?
Yeah, and I just hope that Bob and Alice can participate on the same playing field that the institutions. Like if there's these big institutions get all the capture and then we have to purchase the ability to do shit through them.
No. It's Bob and Alice are going to be lazy in general, and they're going to use a Web2 website.
Yeah, I understand.
And the savings account on that will give them 3% instead of 0.5%. And they'll still go out and take those stable, they'll take the money that you're depositing and they'll put it in, some stable coin pools making 20% and rug you basically, right? They're just going to exploit you. But the companies are going to figure out liquidity farming and eventually drive rates down from the insane rates they're at right now. Like I'm making 30% on USD right now, right? That is not, if banks could participate in that, they would totally drive those rates down. Absolutely, right? It is the only reason we can get rates like this is because the big institutions have been shackled by regulatory BS. And if that climate changes, the flood of money that comes into crypto to access those markets will drive those rates down. The TVL metrics will go absolutely crazy, and the crypto token prices will go bananas because anything that looks like it's based in fundamentals, right? 10x adoption is going to have an effect on the price. So going to be an interesting few years.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying is when I say Bob and Alice, I'm saying let's say Bob and Alice are crypto native and they are well aware. I hope we don't have a guardrail in place that they can no longer attach themselves to the same, for lack of a better word, SWIFT technology that the banks get to use or whatever. And then you don't have to.
Crypto's a great equalizer.
Yeah.
Right. So it guarantees a quality of access, not a quality of outcome.
That's
so,
right.
And that is better than anything we've had before. So the reason that we've had to have these guardrails is because it's easier to form trust and police a small number of participants. But with crypto, it's hard to justify that because we can equally police through smart contracts every participant all at once with no extra effort, right? So I've said before, I think that the Howey test should be amended to add the Logri prong that says you have to be able to identify a way that centralization could harm, right? You're protecting investors. What are you protecting them from? If you can't identify something you're protecting the investors from, the Howey test should not apply, because the goal of the SEC is to protect investors, right? So if you can't identify a way in which you are protecting investors or identify what you're protecting them from, then GTFO, right? Seems sensible enough to me, but no one has pled that in court yet.
Very good. All right. Good stuff. Great post. Good response there, Logri. Nice job. Moving on down the list. After many years, user Zirup, Z-I-R-U-P, that seems like a new name, finds themselves in the ETH camp. Let's look on Reddit. User Zirup is a duder number one. Holy cow, we got a virgin on the weekly podcast. Congrats to Zirup. Here we go. Class of 2017 here. It took this third bull run for me to really find myself solidly in the ETH camp to the exclusion of others. It's just the right community roadmap philosophy for what I believe will bring the best future forward. I'll be scaling out of my positions in the other majors in 2025 and finally setting up my solo staker. Wow. The investing part of this industry is insane. We've never had 24/7 markets for a brand new industry as it gains mind share from zero. The amount of short-term leverage trading, gambling, misallocates a ton of capital and pulls people away from the right metrics. I've finally made enough money to think about what projects I want to support rather than just what projects will pump the highest. Haktua. And it also took me years to be able to understand the industry deep enough to see the trade-offs of each major project. Each community has a vision that has to be understood from the inside out, and you only get a full understanding by participating in the community during a bull and bear market. Here, here. Thanks to this place and others like it that have kept pushing forward. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. You always make your best friends in the middle of a bear market. You know, like that's where like shit gets built. And as long as there's just enough money to trickle through for teams to keep going, the ones who survive those times are the ones who end up winners. And the people on Reddit and Twitter that stick it out and then, you know, continue the conversation and the fight always end up being long-term friends. So, yeah, shout out to Zirup. That's cool, man. Nice origin story. All right, user egg L 7227. It does not roll off the tongue very well, mostly because can't read shit. Let's see, duder number 39 says, let me go back. Where'd it go? Okay, I see. I did a 55 seconds TikTok to explain the beam chain to mostly normies followers a few days ago. Well, where's the link, homeboy or lady? Okay, I got 5,300 views, 18% completion rate, and 27 new followers. Wow. While discussing a highly technical subject. These are excellent numbers for a niche nano influencer like me. My main takeaway is this: people are intelligent. They are eager to learn, but they also need to be told good stories. I try to tell stories that have an impact on people. For example, this beam chain video starts off with how Ethereum will give the internet back to its users. It's a simple message, easy to understand, and makes people sit through the entire video. This kind of storytelling is the reason why XRP is pumping. XRP holders believe that every bank in the world will use the token. It won't happen, and we know it won't happen, but they believe it. And they just outperform the entire market. Ethereum is not built on false promises. We actually are the protocol upon which TradFi, Web3, and digital assets will build. So we have an excellent narrative. Plus, we will deliver. This is what I'm talking about when I say the EF should do more to communicate our story. If I, a nano influencer with zero marketing dollars available, am able to make people care about what Ethereum has to offer, imagine what the EF could do if it really tried. We are not selling a vague, distant dream. We are selling a working product that has the potential to change arts, culture, the internet, finance, and more. Now we need to tell our story. Wow. Great post, man.
Wow, this is a great post. Could you send it to me? I will share it on Kiwi as well, because
Absolutely.
I think our community should read it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go right in here, and then I'll say user Mac Budkowski, check this out, home boy. There you go. Done. Check that out, homeboy. There you go. That's a great post, man. Really lays it out. If you can do a TikTok video in black tights that says juicy on your butt and explain Ethereum, we'll go places. This is great.
You build stuff like that, and then eventually you get more viewership, and this place sucks you in, and you find yourself with a job here, and then you find yourself being an expert on things, and people are, I don't know, it's weird. This ecosystem just yoinks you in. It's like a black hole.
And then you're like becoming like a part of a governance body for something, like so many of our users are.
Mm-hmm. You become a delegate on something, or you're running a relay, and suddenly you're worrying about sequencers and MEV, and you're like, what happened to me?
Speaking of which, if you didn't know this, at dailydoots.com, Hani Abu has produced a section called Ethfinance Delegates. You click the list. There you go, man. You can see all the people that are within the Ethfinance community that are delegates for all kinds of different protocols. Arbitrum is like Bob Rossi. Bob Rossi is not just Arbitrum. Like, he's also on Hot Protocol. So, yeah, shout out to those people who take the time to go and help out with government.
Bob's coming a DeFi senator, man. I love it.
A DeFi senator. I love that. That's a great term. Okay. Let's see. We got moving on down to Harog. Did he get double dooted? Harog made double weekly doots today. Holy cow. Load up the shot glasses. This guy's on fire. Harog uncovers a string of invalid blocks from a few days ago. Harog is a dude of 131, just to remind our audience. A few days ago, we had a streak of invalid blocks. There's a link on Reddit. The postmortem just got released on the old jithub.com. It was indeed a builder relay issue. A builder sent invalid blocks, and the block simulation by the relay timed out, which did not invalidate the block or demote the builder. That is why the builder could continue to deliver invalid blocks. The builder was shut down after some time. The Helix code has been patched and will demote a builder even if the simulation just times out. 5 years ago, that wouldn't have never even been a sentence. I don't even know what half of that meant. Is Austin ST here? He might know something about this stuff, but it's kind of serious, but it looks like they were able to shut down the builder after some time. Nice post there, Harog. Ever vigilant. I want to open up this Reddit comment here. Miss Block's proposals invalid. Oh, Hani Abu pointed it out. There's miss block proposals and invalid blocks happening right now, and you can follow the updates here, and it takes you to the ETH staker. There's the miss blocks proposal, and there we go. ETH staker invalid blocks. Preston Van Loon, Prismatic Labs, was a minor Ethereum mainnet incident. Ooh, boy. Come on. It's just like right as we hit $4,000.
I just love how you can a few clicks later get to someone who actually knows their shit.
Yeah.
It's not like I could ever work at Microsoft and just go and be like, let me find the dev and have him commenting on, Reddit about something, right? He's just inaccessible.
Yeah. And Preston, he's, it's crazy. You're 2 clicks away from getting the accurate information. And if it's coming from Harog, it's on point. Like, he knows his stuff. Very cool. Sea Monkey, another freaking legend. Dude, Mac, you would love this guy. Sea Monkey came to Hawaii for a conference, and he brought his node and ran it in the hotel room. Dude, and not only that, he was like building other stuff while we were, supposedly on vacation together. We had a conference in Hawaii within the community of couple of years ago. Oh my God. Sea Monkey's, he's legit, man. And he had like other stuff going on. He is like movie star level nerd. I freaking love that guy so much. Okay, Lighthouse 6 released today. Very excited to announce the long-awaited release of Lighthouse 6.0. This release bumps the major version number due to the introduction of several substantial changes, including an efficient new database schema for archive nodes. These major changes, also come with a small degree of backwards incompatibility. Once you upgrade to Lighthouse 6, downgrading will require a resync with Checkpoint Sync. The upgrade is low priority, but it does include lots of other optimizations and fixes, so we recommend upgrading at your convenience. If you're running Nethermind, we recommend waiting a little longer for a new Nethermind release to address a minor incompatibility. Check out the release notes for full details, and as ever, let us know if you have any issues with it. Happy staking. Yours truly, SeaMonkey82. User Soup Fizz. I think Super Fizz has got he's got Super Jizz. I don't even think he says Super Jizz is not his account. And Soup Fizz is a newer account I think he's doing. I think he got to the top of the dudes list and now he's starting over again. I don't know. Just started a new community education initiative. Yes, this is great. I'm so glad A-Word put this on the weekly. This is really cool. This is a Kiwi News level kind of thing, Mac. Today is the first day of our listen-along group for DevCon talks. I once imagined this as Ethereum Public Radio, EPR, but we'll see where it goes. I guarantee you that I will flake and not post these regularly. That's not even my goal. My goal is to spur growth and development. If it's going to be successful, it needs you to take some responsibility and develop this idea along with me. Here's the grand idea. Oh, yes. Claps. Every day we'll post a link to a DevCon talk. These are ranked by listens, so we'll start at the top and work our way down. The list is very likely to evolve as we go forward. Much praise to Hani Abu for being the first community contributor, and we need others who can develop this system and generally automate the process. Your job is to consume the content, then comment with insight on this thread and vote up the other valuable content. The primary goal here is community development through education. Talk number 1, December 2nd, is Ethereum in 30 minutes talk by some guy named Vitalik Buterin. All right. So there was the call to action from Soup Fizz, Duder number 20. And it looks like there's been quite a bit of people chiming in, including So Say the Wall. So saith we all says, how would we feel about starting this in our Ethereum instead of here? Yes, I hope so. But Soup responds, I probably wouldn't participate at this time if it went into our Ethereum. While I do look forward to the improvements happening at our Ethereum, they haven't progressed to a point I'm comfortable being there yet. There's a lot of history and stuff I just don't talk about that causes me to choose to not go there, at least not at this time. Well, Super Fizz, I'm here to tell you, my friend, change it is a-coming, and you have no fear. There's some inside baseball there apparently I don't know about with why, but I'm very, very adamant that it's going to be passed with flying colors and we're all going to go there. I hope so, because I don't want to moderate in 2 places. It's pretty much impossible. The moderators for Ethfinance that have come over there have collectively done over 1,000 moderator actions in 30 days. 1,000. Over 1,000. That tells you something. We're trying to clean house a little bit and then roll out the red carpet for all of you awesome folks. This is a great idea, Super Fizz. Hopefully people can take that torch and keep running up the mountain with it, because it is an amazing idea. It helps everybody gain knowledge about what was presented at DevCon who couldn't make it there, and you're doing it kind of in order of use or anything that really grabs you. I love it. Get people talking. All right. And finally for this week, MJ 102-500 thinks that the FUD is overblown. And on this topic, Lukey Mons gives us a good pep talk. Let's see. Ooh, this is another Duder one to round out the week. Awesome. And Lukey Mons is a Duder 19. Okay, relative newcomer to the obviously to the weekly dudes, let alone the daily. MJ 102 500 says, I don't really understand all the FUD. I get some of it relative to Bitcoin, but this happened last cycle and maybe the one before where BTC was way ahead of all-time high and ETH was struggling to break theirs. But then it shot up to a 0.08 ratio. Compared to all the alts that have been pumping, go look at where they are relative to their all-time high. They are just catching up with the progress ETH already made. They were way down with no relief for the bag holders until just recently. Laugh out loud, ADA and XRP. ETH simply got back to this level relative to the all-time high way sooner and more gradually. Polkadot is still less than 20% of all-time high. How? XRP is less than 70% of all-time high. Cardano a little over a third. They pumped more, but they'd been lagging for over a year versus ETH. I think actually this, I'm going to open this up. What day was this? Because XRP just shot up. This was a day ago. I thought XRP shot up a bunch more than that. XRP's closer to their all-time high than 70%, aren't they?
But it was number 3 last cycle as well, I think.
Yeah.
The XRP.
But I'm saying the all-time high price, I don't think they're 70% away from all-time high, are they? I don't know if somebody could open up a chart and draw a triangle. Anyway, you don't even have to draw a triangle. I was just making a joke. Okay, but anyway, here we go. They pumped more, but they'd been lagging for over a year versus ETH. Lukimons responds, the FUD and negativity is so unnecessary. All people are doing is convincing themselves to sell their bags of one of the best assets of the 21st century way too soon. BTC becoming a household name and going over 100K just paves the road for Ethereum to do the same. But this time, almost anything is possible with the asset. Some use cases will hit PMF, some won't. What is PMF? Stable coins are already there, and it's
product market fit.
Thank you. Product market fit. Stable coins are already there, and its usage and minting will grow exponentially. More will follow. L2s are popping off. Yeah, grab the champagne on that. ETH supply growth is halted and sometimes even burning. There's not enough ETH for everyone. If you even have one ETH, you are well above the average. Every major investment party has ETH or has ETH on their to buy list. The ecosystem is flourishing with a lot of good, smart, and hardworking people. The number of digital innovations coming from Ethereum are up only. Shoot the bear, you, and embrace the bull, you. Also, sell some to get your life in a better position. Be that mentally, financially, physically, or just to reward yourself with some fun things or a great trip. We're all going to Walmart. But don't sell all because you're holding one of the sickest assets in history. Create a vision for your life and your investment life so you can win now and win later. Set yourself up for success now and in the future. You are all going to make it. Great post. I embrace that. I mean, it is like you got to put the blinders on just because the other coins are pumping and you don't feel like you're moving fast enough or directionally. Just be aware there's plenty of people that can pump a small market cap asset, trap the people that follow in and flow in, and then those people will sell at the top and roll that money over to Bitcoin. That just seems like that's just the narrative, right? That you see, they'll just do this thing where it's just, you saw it in the shitcoin days before Ethereum. You saw it during the ICO days where these guys would go in, blow the price up, dump on Bob and Alice, go buy Bitcoin with it, stack those sats is the old saying, right? And then some people stack ETH with it. I feel like the smart money is patient, always has been. And you know what? You just got to scratch your head, man. That's what I do. I just kind of scratch my head like, I don't know why, but I'm not getting trapped. I've already followed those rabbit holes. I've learned my lesson. Like the regret of like real regret for like putting hard-earned money into things that I thought could be so much better than they ended up being. And to be fair, some of those projects were actually led by good teams. It just didn't take hold. It didn't work. And some of the stuff I invested in ended up being rug pulls, and thought I was taken for a ride. You kind of live and learn. I just feel like don't short crypto, and don't bet against Bitcoin and Ethereum in particular. And I don't own any Bitcoin. I haven't owned Bitcoin since 2016, I think. But anyway, that's enough about me. I'm glad to hear that MJ 102-500 got that quality of a reply, because I love this. I mean, I love this stuff. I just feel it's a great space to be in. What do you guys think? I'm sitting here just blabbing in the mic. Mac, you got anything you want to add before we close this out?
I mean, I'm like, it's hard to put into words how bullish I am on ETH. I mean, like, I just don't have words for that. And like,
you do have dollars for that.
Yeah, like a lot of
which is a different type of speech if you believe the Supreme Court, right?
If you could see my portfolio, I have probably like 3% in non-crypto assets. So I put my money where my mouth is.
Irresponsibly long, as it says, right?
Yeah, this is me. And like, my perspective is, I don't know about XRP and so on, but what I know is that Larry Fink, and as we were saying about this RWA, these real world assets, Larry Fink, who's like running the biggest fund in the world with $10 trillion, wants to tokenize everything on Ethereum.
That's it.
And I mean, this is enough. Like, even if you take away all the great things that are happening and so on, just this thing alone should make people incredibly bullish. Because if you think about all the ETFs and stocks and all that kind of stuff getting tokenized, and everyone paying the gas fee to borrow against their stock or against their ETF, this is beautiful.
At very little cost to the environment. It's negligible, the amount of energy consumption versus the value that could be built on top of it. This is the number one, like for me, at the very beginning, the energy consumption part of this is just such a no-brainer. If people are really, really serious, I mean, you could talk climate change in a political way, but like if you could do it in a capitalist way and a responsible economic way, like that's it for me. Just the savings on energy, the low barrier of cost to entry, everything can be done on a public mainnet with zero knowledge proofs. Everything can be scaled with layer 2s. There's a little friction in the road on like the UI, but man, these people that built the internet, making it the way it is now and how accessible it is for people to just type in a few words to get done what they want to do, they don't understand if they hit F12 and they can see all the code of the site on the side. They removed all that. They abstracted all that. And I feel like this AI economy and the mechanization and tokenization of the world, it needs a protocol like built on Ethereum to do all that. Okay.
Yeah. Amen.
From the legal side, up until Ethereum, the enforcement of all property rights was done through courts, which is an expensive, like you can be legally right and still be out of your money and bankrupt in 18 months while you go through the court proceedings to enforce your property rights.
Yeah.
From the perspective of a TradFi, fund manager, I imagine he cares about property rights very deeply. And this is a more efficient and fair way. The other thing I'd say is, so we saw during the Wall Street bets sort of blow-ups, right, where we're looking at GameStop, all the naked shorting and the illegal manipulation that was happening. It's not even just that it's illegal. It's just not possible on Ethereum, right? If I have a short, it's backed by collateral. If I have options, they're transparent, you can audit it. It's not that it's illegal and needs to be policed. It's that it isn't possible, which is a fundamentally better world.
Yeah. Very, very well said. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. Mac from Kiwi News, please go check out Kiwi News. We got links we'll have in the show notes below. Give me about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm going to get this up on our podcast. Apologies about the tech stuff at the beginning of the podcast, but we made it. And Mac, I hope to see you around on our Ethereum in the daily thread, and for the rest of the year, at least on the Ethfinance. Share in a link a day, man. Love to have all the content we can, and maybe we could cross-pollinate some users back over to your platform. I see some Mavericks in the crowd throwing out some fire and some heart emojis and some claps for you, man. Keep building, and hopefully we'll see you in Denver.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was so much fun, and I gotta say, I look at Ethereum content every fucking day. It's my job because this is what I do. And I saw some of these posts were really, really high quality stuff. So congrats to people who post them, all the dudes. And yeah,
all right.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thanks for subbing and smashing the bells around here. Stick around after the live stream because we continue the party in the hotel lobby on Discord for a bonus hour of popcorn. It's a fun place to let loose when the parents aren't watching on YouTube. Hi, Mom. On behalf of Ethfinance and the EV Maverick style, my name is JT. Cheers and big hugs from Kansas City.
Okay, bye-bye.